Set numbers and trim. Morehead State attired in blue with gold numbers and trim. And we look forward to a bracket buster contest here at home, Mike.
It should be a fun game. Teams are very similar scoring-wise, shooting-wise. It should be an up-and-down game. I look forward to be a high-scoring game and a lot of fun for the fans and players alike.
Officials are from the Ohio Valley Conference. Mickey Parrish, P-A-R-I-S-H, K-B, as in boy, Burdett, B-U-R-D-E-T-T, and John, without the H, St. Clair. As the lead official, Mickey Parrish, is about to toss it up. Our opening tip brought to you by the Alamo 2, your official Redbird bookstore, and Spread the Red headquarters. Not a bad crowd.
Nope, filling in nicely.
And the Birds going for their 5th win in a row. As the ball is tossed up between Fareed and Odiakosa, there it is. So the tap controlled by Fareed, and Morehead State has the first opportunity as the Birds set up in their man-to-man. Shingles, the point guard, deals it to the wing. Harper with it there, guarded by Osiris Eldridge. Harper comes to the right. He finds Stallworth. It's Rubin on him. Stallworth is bumped past, stolen by Alex. Rubin has another steal, and the Redbirds have the ball in the front court. Here's Osiris with it. Moves up to the top, picks up his dribble. Rubin now on the left wing. Cross-court pass, Phillips fakes the three, penetrates inside that zone, now kicks it back out. Here's a three, Osiris got it, and the Redbirds lead 3-0.
Yeah, good ball movement inside, outside. Lloyd drove down the lane, brought the defense to him, and a nice kick out to Osiris.
Shingles across the timeline for the Eagles. Get the two Stallworth. Now it comes to the wing, and with it there is Steve Peterson. Up on top, Stallworth with it. Right side, it goes to Shingles. Here's the shot from the wing, and it's good. A three by Mays Stallworth, who had 21 threes in the 5 games coming up to this. He's a hot shooter right now for Morehead State. We're tied at 3 as Phillips against the half-court trap gets it across the timeline. Rubin now back to Lloyd, who fakes the three, penetrates the zone, kicks it out to Alex. And he fakes the shot and comes back out with 18 still to shoot.
Boy, Morehead very, very active out of this zone, Dick.
Here's Rubin picking up his dribble and kicking it back out, and a long one, and Phillips missed it, and the rebound, Tony Lewis, the offensive rebound. And now back outside, Osiris has it left wing. Another opportunity here for the Birds to break the tie as those three is good. Osiris 2 for 2 from 3 here in the early going, and the Redbirds lead 6-3.
That's a few more buckets than he's had, Dick, against Morehead State in the past. Last year here, he didn't have a field goal. That's hard to believe.
He was 0 for 7 from the field, did make 4 free throws, but yeah, his first 2 free throws or field goals against Morehead State here in the first 2 minutes of the game. Up on top, Mays Stallworth with it. Now to the right wing. Here's the drive, and Harper to the layup. It's good. It rolled to the front of the rim, hung there for a while, and then went through. Harper makes it 6-5. Redbird lead down to 1 as they inbound against the pressure. And according to Tim Jankovic, we'll see this most of the game as Phillips comes to the timeline and now gets it across in time to Lewis with the pass. Now Lloyd up on top. 2.5 minutes in. Redbirds lead 6-5. They have the ball. Phillips on the left wing. Almost lost it. Picks it up and goes to Rubin on the right side. Alex dribbles away from his defender and now gets it to Phillips. Only 10 to shoot, and now a foul with the shot clock running down. An untimely foul for Morehead State. DeMonte Harper picks it up. It's the first against either team.
Well, it's probably fortunate for Illinois State. Everybody was standing and watching. No movement away from the ball, and against a good zone like Morehead plays, a matchup zone type, you got to have movement. All 5 players have to be involved.
Rubin to Phillips on the left wing. Lloyd sends it back to Alex, who fakes the three, brings it up top. Now Phillips penetrates inside. Dienma to the goal. Layup, no. Got it back. Goes up and scores. Dienma. Odiakosa with the goal. Redbirds up 8-5, equaling their biggest lead at 3.
Yeah, Dienma put up the first one almost like you expected it to get blocked. Reed didn't give him any pressure at all, and he got it back and went out and scored it.
Shingles hands it off to Peterson. Now up on top, Stallworth. Around the horn it goes. And on the right wing, here's Harper, and now a whistle, and Harper traveled with it. Turnover against Morehead State, and the travel reminds us of the Focus Susie Davis travel. Contact them today to find out more about their exclusive Direct to the Wilderness Princess Cruise Tours to Alaska next summer, or visit online at suzidavis.com. Terrence Hill into the game now for Morehead State. First substitution for them as he replaces DeMonte Harper. First substitution for either team as the Birds in the front court. Osiris gets it in the deep corner. Almost goes out of bounds, but saves it back into Rubin. Penetrates inside. Dienma layup. Yeah! Great feed by Rubin. Dienma's second basket. Redbirds by 5 here in the early going. It's 10-5 Illinois State.
You know, Dick, it's amazing the confidence that his teammates have now with Dienma. They'll throw it in there. They assume he's going to catch it. Whether it's a good pass, average pass, he's going to come up with it and score it.
Stallworth the shingles on the right wing for Morehead State. He moves it back outside. A three for Peterson is good. He was wide open, and Steve Peterson, the sophomore from Columbus, Georgia, nails the three. Redbird lead down to 2 at 10-8. As Tony Lewis has it at three-quarter court, picks up his dribble, and now a whistle and a travel against Tony, which gets us to an official timeout. So each team has turned it over once here in the recent going, as now we get to that timeout with 15:50 left to go in the opening half, and the Redbirds on top 10-8. Back with more after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
The rising cost of health care is on everyone's mind these days and is a major concern to employers.
Hi, this is Sean Gordon of Clemens & Associates. As a business owner, you did not get successful by throwing away money. Covering your employees' escalating health care expenses can become difficult. I can show you a selection of insurance options that meet your employees' needs while keeping the policy affordable. Call me, Sean Gordon, 662-2100 for your personalized quote.
If your car handles a little too much like a much-punched, wobbly-legged prize fighter after hitting one too many potholes, then maybe it's time to stop into Davis Tire & Auto to get your alignment checked. Davis Tire & Auto, your local American car care center, will set things straight. Davis will rotate and balance your tires, set your four-wheel alignment, plus provide a 24-point safety inspection, all for only $69.95. Contact the pros at Davis Tire & Auto, 1809 Eastland Drive, Bloomington. Call 663-6366, 663-6366.
McLean County's voice for news, sports, weather, talk, and all things local.
1230 WJBC and WJBC.com.
Two other bracket buster games with Missouri Valley Conference teams have gone final. Missouri State picks up a nice win at home over Nevada, 62-60, the final score there. And it is Southern over Western Michigan, 89-72. Let's head back out to Doug Collins Court at Redbird Arena and Dick and Maddie.
Thanks, Zach. 10-8 here. Redbirds with the early lead, 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. With Northern Iowa's win yesterday, Mike, the Valley 3-0 so far in the bracket.
What do you think, 8-2? Is that too much to ask for?
Well, maybe not. The Valley does have 7 home games out of the 10.
The one that really jumps out at me as really a trouble game is Wichita State at Utah State. Utah State's playing very well. And then Indiana State at Green Bay. That one kind of jumps out at me as a tough one for the Valley. But other than that, I think we can go 7-8-2.
Shockers and the Aggies tip it up at 11 o'clock our time.
Now, you'll have to let me know about that one, but Utah State has been doing very well of late, and Wichita State hasn't been playing that well of late, so I'd be surprised if they could handle Utah State, but you never know.
Redbird basketball brought to you in part by Orthopedic and Sports Enhancement Center, your team leader for comprehensive sports medicine. Redbird's more interested in how Wichita State does in its game early next week against Bradley, as the Birds try to catch the Shockers. Still could do it for second in the Valley. Ty Profit in the game for the Eagles, and Kellen Thornton, the first substitute for the Redbirds, as the Eagles have put it in play. Coming through the lane, jump stop and a shot not good by Sam Goodman, who also got in during the timeout, but an offensive rebound, and now a three is not good for Hill, but another offensive rebound. Profit comes out of there with it. And now to Goodman, who comes up to the top. Third opportunity here for the Eagles as the shot not good by Mays Stallworth, and Dienma corrals the defensive rebound, and the Birds still ahead 10-8 are in the front court. Phillips with it now at the top, pedals it back to Rubin. His three, it's good! Redbirds are shooting the three ball very accurately here in the early going. They lead 13-8.
Well, I think Morehead State is really concentrating on smothering Dienma inside, so the outside looks are definitely there early.
Birds 3 for 4 from 3. As Stallworth gets it over to Goodman, way outside, guarded by Stallworth. Here it comes inside now, and a missed shot by Kenneth Fareed, his first shot of the game, and the ball rebounded, but out of bounds is Mays Stallworth, and the Birds get the basketball. As now we see Les Simmons in for the Eagles and Austin Hill in for the Redbirds.
Yeah, Dima got a piece of that shot by Fareed. That's why it was offline and short. Dima took a swipe at it and got just a little piece of it.
And now Jackie Carmichael in for the Birds as well as Dima Odiakosa sits down. Our substitutions brought to you by Extreme Nissan. Shift gears and test drive an all-new Nissan at Extreme Nissan in Bloomington. Here's Thornton shy of the timeline to Hill, and he threw it away. It's picked off by Stallworth. Turnover against the Redbirds. Here it comes into the front court, and with it is Terrence Hill. Hill now moves it out to Stallworth. Up on top, Ty Profit. He looks inside to Les Simmons as Fareed is now out of the game for them. Stallworth picks up his dribble, hands it off to Profit. 16 to shoot for them as the Birds still lead 13-8. Profit's penetrating. Now the pass to the corner. Down the lane. Missing the shot was Terrence Hill. Rebound battled for. Out of bounds. It's off of the Redbirds as actually it came to Morehead State. And a shot effort put up there by Goodman was rejected out of bounds by Kellen Thornton. Morehead State still has the ball, but only 5 seconds now to shoot. And the inbounds pass for Shingles, who just got back in the game. It comes to Stallworth, and as he drives, a foul against Rubin, and just as was the case on a Redbird possession earlier in the game, an untimely foul here against the Birds.
Stallworth really a handful. Rubin's matched up against him, and Stallworth 6'4" and looks to be about 205, 210, and very strong build.
First foul against the Birds. Morehead State now with a fresh 35 seconds on the shot clock has put it in play. Shingles with it outside against Osiris. Penetrates, gets by him. The help is there. The block by Carmichael. And it's Rubin who makes the rebound and then is fouled by Shingles. Good hustle by Alex Rubin. Shingles' first foul, second on the team. So still 13-8. Nobody has scored here for a little while. Redbirds on top, 13:47 left in the opening half as the ball is put in play by Austin Hill. Thornton shy of the timeline is trapped, but gets it across to Osiris. Rubin in the corner. A three is too strong. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Morehead State. Redbirds with another opportunity to score on this possession as Fareed, after a short rest, comes back into the game, as does DeMonte Harper for the Eagles.
Boy, we are getting some good looks, aren't we, behind the arc? Uncontested almost.
3 for 5 now after that miss by Rubin as Carmichael gets the inbounds pass to Alex, and now Thornton up on top to Hill. Hill wanted to throw it to Thornton, who went away from the play. Loose ball picked up by Morehead State. Here's the lob, and Fareed lays it up and in off the pass from DeMonte Harper. Birds gave one up there on the turnover, and it's now 13-10 Illinois State. As Osiris goes to Carmichael, now back to O, into the front court, pass to the corner. Rubin up to Hill at the left wing. And he deals it back to Alex. Now on the right side, Osiris Eldridge. Around the horn it goes, Austin Hill. 17 to shoot. Hill penetrates with the dribble. Back out to Rubin in the corner. Osiris. A three is good. Oh, 3 for 3 from 3. And the Redbirds enjoy their biggest lead. They're up 16-10.
Good ball movement again against that 2-3 zone by Morehead State.
12:44 left in the opening half. Shingles comes across the timeline for the Eagles as he drifts to the left, guarded by Austin Hill. Gives it up to Mays Stallworth. And now on the right wing, DeMonte Harper penetrates on Osiris and lays it up and in after a nice fake. Got Osiris up in the air and then ducked underneath the block effort and scores the basket that cuts the lead to 4. 16-12, Illinois State. Birds have led all the way as Carmichael finds Hill. Now Austin got away with a shove there as Osiris at the left wing goes into the corner to Kellen. Thornton threw it away again. Picked off by Shingles. And here's Fareed getting the return pass from Harper, and he's fouled before he can put it up. I believe before the shot. Let's see. No, they're going to give him 2 free throws. They say he was into a shooting motion is what they're saying. Timeout called. It's an official's timeout with 11:59 left here in the opening half. Birds lead 16-12 over Morehead State as we're back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
When you need emergency power, you need a Generac. Generac automatic standby generators from Midwest Equipment. When the power goes out, you know the lights will come on. The house will stay warm, and you don't have to do a thing. You don't even have to be home. A Generac automatic standby generator kicks on automatically.
And when the power's back on, it shuts itself off. You'll have the peace of mind that comes with knowing your home is safe and warm. Generac automatic standby generators from Midwest Equipment. 2150 West College, Normal. Buying a new or used car can be nerve-wracking, but Extreme Motors takes the worry of buying a car right out of the equation. Drive Hyundais, Kias, and Nissan, and buy with confidence, because Extreme Motors offers lifetime warranties on all new and used vehicles. Extreme Motors, 2029 Ireland Grove Road, and 1608 South Morrissey in Bloomington, or visit driveextreme.com.
Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Go Extreme. Extreme is the one. Click, click, click. DriveExtreme.com.
Hey Redbird fans, this is Beth Wisman. Join me weekdays from 12 to 2 and get the latest on what's happening across McLean County on your Sports Voice, 1230 WJBC.
Redbird Hoops is brought to you in part by Central Illinois Regional Airport. Free parking, low fares close to home. Central Illinois Regional Airport is your easy, low-cost way to fly. Birds 6 for 9 from the field, Mike, compared with 5 for 12 from Morehead State, but the Redbirds have already turned it over 4 times.
Yeah, they really haven't. We thought we needed 12 or less turnovers, but we weren't counting on 66% from behind the arc, and if we can continue to shoot at 66% behind the arc, we can add a few turnovers to that.
I don't know how many teams are going to beat you when you shoot 66% from behind the arc, assuming you take at least a double-digit number of shots from out there.
Yeah, and Morehead State's almost inviting us to take the outside shot. Dima hasn't played the last couple minutes, and really nothing going on in the paint for us so far. And Morehead State, I guess, is saying we're going to take away the inside game and make you beat us from the outside, which is probably good strategy against Illinois State. So far, it hasn't been good. Illinois State shooting the ball real well. Lloyd Phillips now back into the lineup.
As is Dinma Odiakosa. Thornton and Rubin sit down. And our first free throws of the game coming up here from Kenneth Fareed, the superstar for Morehead State, who's a 61% free thrower, so that's not his strength as he shoots this one through. Does everything else very well. Has his third point of this game, and the lead is down to 3 at 16-13. Junior from Newark, New Jersey, the preseason player of the year in the Ohio Valley, got that one too.
How does a player like that from out east for all their basketball powers, how does he escape that and end up at Morehead, Kentucky?
That's a good question. Dinma Odiakosa shy of the timeline as he gets the ball. Still 4 seconds in order to beat the 10 seconds, and the Birds do that as Lloyd Phillips is into the front court. Now Eldridge with it up on top, left side Hill. Austin, the junior college transfer, picks up his dribble. Carmichael high post to Phillips. Bounce pass inside to Dinma, bobbles it, tries to get it back, loses the handle, loose ball, diving on the floor. The Redbirds get it. Phillips to Carmichael, great hustle. Hill got slapped on the arm but held the ball, and he has it now to the right wing, and now a whistle, and they've reset the shot clock, and that's a mistake. It should not have been reset. Morehead State, I believe, did not have possession of the ball.
I think there ought to be about 16, 17 seconds on the shot clock, but
maybe less than that. It really, the fact that the shot clock was reset bailed the Redbirds out a little bit, Mike, because that was going nowhere. They were headed for a turnover, and
they're
now
not
they have a chance to regroup.
Right, and they're not going to adjust the clock.
Oh, my.
Good.
Well, that is good. So they're ruling, and maybe it's right, that Morehead State did have possession of that ball. Justin Clark just checked into the game. Here's the drive by Osiris. Pull up 15-footer. No, it's his first miss of the contest. Rebounded by Mays Stallworth. Shingles ahead. Here's Goodman's three. A line drive is good. He has his first basket of the game, and Morehead State has its first lead of the game at 17-16. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the Redbirds. The two free throws by Fareed cut the lead to 2, and now it's Morehead State, which has the lead at 17-16, as this 30-second timeout is brought to you by Parkway Auto Laundry. Take a 10-minute timeout and have your vehicle cleaned at Parkway Auto Laundry.
Well, good timeout by Illinois State. They're really struggling against that 2-2-1 full court pressure of Morehead State. Really lackadaisical passes, lazy passes, and we need to clean that up a little bit. I think we can get some buckets off the zone pressure if we attack the basket, but right now, very, very conservative attack against their zone pressure.
Next action for the Redbirds comes up Wednesday night. It's the final regular season home game, so it'll be senior night here at Redbird Arena as Dinma Odiakosa, Lloyd Phillips, and Osiris Eldridge will be honored. 7:05 start. We'll have it at 6:30 here on the Redbird Radio Network. As the Birds inbound against that pressure, Phillips gets it back from Clark. Now to Carmichael, and across the timeline is Clark, and nearly lost it, but gets it back to Phillips as he dribbled into traffic there and was able to avert the steal effort. Phillips to Osiris on the right wing. Tries to use a Carmichael screen, gets to the baseline, still hounded by his defender, gets rid of it. Clark with it now. Justin fires it to Osiris. His three is good. Osiris is 4 for 4 from three. The only shot he's missed is from inside the arc, and the Redbirds up to 19-17. 12 of Illinois State's 19 points from Osiris. Shingles with it. Now up top to DeMonte Harper, who moves to the right. Carmichael on him. Harper dribbles well outside the arc. Now tries to attack. Can't go anywhere. Now goes baseline, and he delivers the pass to the other side of the bucket. He stepped on the end line, and it's a turnover against Morehead State. Birds get it with 10:02 left and with a 2-point lead. Terrence Hill, who came in earlier for Morehead State, a sophomore out of Columbus, Georgia, is back into the contest for the Eagles. As Phillips inbounds it to Justin Clark. Gets the three-quarter court with the dribble, and now jump passes it to Dinma, who's fouled as he gets to the bucket. Nice pass out of a jam there by Lloyd Phillips. A low bounce pass. Dinma did a nice job of handling it and getting to the goal.
Yeah, I think if it had been a chest pass, it would have been intercepted, but the Morehead State player was moving so quickly he couldn't move quick to the ball and get down to the floor. Nice skip pass. You're right, Dick, from about, 40 feet?
Steve Peterson, the Morehead State player who committed the foul, and Dinma's at the line for Illinois State's first free throw attempts of the game as the Birds try to enlarge their 2-point lead and do with Dinma's 5th point of the contest. Odiakosa back up to 58% from the line as now Osiris gets his first rest of the game. Leaves with 12 points, all of them coming from outside the arc. Alex Rubin replaces him. Dinma's free throw has made it a 3-point lead, and now he misses this one as it's rebounded by Ty Profit just back into the game for Morehead State. Eagles in the front court. Here it comes now to Goodman, driving right of the lane. A runner, no. Too hard off the glass. Battle for the rebound. Lewis back in, has it. Here's Phillips across the timeline. Lloyd moves into the front court, finds Justin Clark, left side Rubin. Alex comes to the top. Continues the dribble. Now spins and works it over to Phillips on the right side. 20 to shoot for the Birds. Lloyd gives ground, now goes toward the goal. Here's the runner, not good. The rebound taken out of there by Fareed. Ahead it goes to Terrence Hill. Hill through the lane, gives it up. Here's a bomb, and Goodman got another one. Or, excuse me, Peterson is the one who gets that one. Steve Peterson nails the three, and we're tied at 20. As Lewis comes to Clark at three-quarter court, now back to Lloyd Phillips. And he'll have to work hard to get it across, and does now. It's past Tony Lewis with 2 seconds to spare. They make the Redbirds work to get it into the front court. As now Dinma gets the pass from Rubin and dunks it. Odiakosa with 7 early points. Birds back on top, 22 to 20.
Well, he is certainly finishing, isn't he, the last 2-3 weeks?
Got a nice pass there that made it easy for him to finish with the dunk. As Goodman gets it to the wing. Terrence Hill up top, Ty Profit with it. Now Sam Goodman, a baseline drive and a shot good. And the whistle, are going to take it away. Fareed hit the iron as the ball was going through the cylinder just before it went through. Offensive goaltending is the call, even though there's no doubt that thing was going to go through whether Fareed touched the rim or not.
You know, I'm not so sure Fareed wasn't knocked off balance by one of his own teammates and kind of almost grabbed the rim for his own protection. But, boy, nice call for us.
Here's Rubin with it. Lobs it to Dinma. Left of the basket. He'll have to give it up. Outside Clark. A three. No. And the rebound on the weak side for Morehead State. Taken out of there by Les Simmons. Here's Terrence Hill. Hill spins it back to Stallworth, and a travel is called. Stallworth took a step too quickly after receiving that little shovel pass from Terrence Hill, and that travel reminds us of the folks at Susie Davis Travel. Contact them today to find out more about their exclusive 2010 honeymoon packages, providing the added amenities that every honeymoon deserves. 22-20, Birds lead with an officials timeout called here with 7:51 left in the opening half. Back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Wally Mead, a retired college professor. Before I got into professing, I built houses in my hometown of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I can proudly point to a number of houses I had a hand in constructing. I'm proud because the materials I used and my craftsmanship have held up well over the years. My point? I know good craftsmanship and materials. Recently, when I decided to replace my windows, I went to George Nordine and picked out exactly what I wanted. His men demonstrated what I immediately recognized as good craftsmanship in installing these high-quality, energy-efficient windows. They look great, and already I'm heating more of the inside of my house and less of the outside. If you want the best materials and the best craftsmanship for any remodeling project, I suggest you call Nordine Remodeling at 888-4662 or visit Nordine at nordineremodeling.com. Tell him Wally Mead sent you.
This is ISU head football coach Brock Speck, and this is the voice of the Redbirds, 1230 WJBC and WJBC.com.
Redbirds 22 and Morehead State 20, just under 8 minutes left to play here in the first half. How about a fast stat, Mike? You got one for us?
I think I do. Morehead State leads Illinois State 8-0 in fast break points. We've been doing ours at the half-court game. They've been doing theirs on turnovers and fast breaking, so an 8-0 advantage, fast break points for Morehead State.
That fast stat brought to you by Sean Craig from First Midwest Securities, your retirement income specialist. Before we restart this game, let's pause and allow our network stations to identify themselves on the Redbird Radio Network.
News, sports, weather, talk, and a whole lot of fun.
Right here on your voice for the Redbirds.
1230 WJBC.
WJBC.com.
Go you Redbirds.
1230 WJBC and WJBC HD, Bloomington Normal.
Redbirds in the Bracket Buster Series have an 11-3 record. They've been very successful in these games, although they lost one each of the last 2 years to Niagara, the actual Bracket Buster game last year, and then the return game this year. Their other loss was at Miami of Ohio back in February of 2006. As they inbound the ball, and across the timeline is Justin Clark. Here's Phillips with it. Clark, Phillips, and Rubin with Lewis and Odiakosa right now for the Birds. As Justin gets it to Lloyd Phillips at the top. 18 to shoot as Lloyd deals it to Rubin on the left side. He lobs it, and a layup, good, count it, and a foul. Justin Clark with the alley-oop on the weak side. How about that as the Birds lead 24-20?
And, Dick, those are your Schooners hot points. The alley-oop, usually Osiris is on the other end. This time it was the freshman, Justin Clark.
As the foul is whistled against Devontae Harper, that's his second, team's fourth. And Clark here, who's been to the line only 4 times all year, has made 2 of his 4 shots from the stripe. Tries to add to the play and does. It's a 3-point play for Justin Clark, and the Redbird lead is up to 5, 25-20.
Nick, I think that's a play we're going to enjoy watching over the next 3 years. They'll refine that, and Justin Clark, who gets most of his points from the outside, also has pretty good hops.
Showed it there as Stallworth hands it off to Terrence Hill. Hill delivers it back outside to Monte Harper, guarded by Justin Clark. Here's the bounce pass down to the baseline. Les Simmons bangs with Dienma and spins, tries to get the shot away, blocked by Clark, but Simmons got it back. 7 seconds to shoot for Morehead State. Driving shot, Harper, no. Rebound, Dienma jerked it away from a Morehead player. Here's Phillips, scoops to Lewis, and a heavy collision, and a charge is called on Tony Lewis.
Not a good call there. I thought the guy got there late, and it's set up under the goal, and Tony Lewis is staying down. Hopefully he's not injured.
Terrence Hill, the man with whom he collided, and it did look like Hill didn't get there soon enough, but the call goes against Tony, his first, team's third. Tony's up now, and a little smirk on his face. He fully believes that he got jobbed on that one.
Well, you got to give the Morehead State player credit. I wouldn't have jumped out in front of that runaway.
Not kidding.
Woo! Maybe he deserves the call for courage.
And he came away the better. As Hill took a little time, as Mike said, to get up, but he's fine now as we've resumed play. Still 25-20 Birds. 6.5 to play here in the half. Stallworth hands it off to Harper. Here's Hill with it, and a whistle and a foul on Tony Lewis. As Hill tried to make a move, very little contact, and Tony gets called for another one.
Yeah, Tony got him with the knee as he started to change directions.
Second on him, fourth on the team. It'll be inbounded again by Morehead State. Several changes are made. Steve Peterson back into the game for Morehead State. Meanwhile, Terry Johnson in for the first time for the Redbirds. Kellen Thornton is in there for the Birds. We saw him earlier.
Boy, it's been a while since we've seen Terry Johnson on the floor.
I think it's been a half dozen games or so.
I think at least.
Harper on the right side of the lane. Up top it goes. A shot fake by Peterson and a knockaway by Rubin, who saves it in. A great diving effort, but Morehead's got it. And now a block, but a rebound for Reed, who scores the goal and has been fouled. Meanwhile, Alex Rubin shaken up after diving to try to save that ball in. He banged hard into the scorer's table and is a little slow to get up. Both Tim Jankovic and John Munn come over to check out Alex Rubin.
I think he maybe just got the wind knocked out of him, Dick, but boy, did he put out a great effort.
Nonetheless, it resulted in a basket for Kenneth Fareed, which cuts the lead down to 25-22. Alex is up and appears to be okay as he's walking now under his own power and gets a nice hand here from this crowd at Redbird Arena for that supreme effort. Nobody gives you more than he does.
I was going to say, it's going to take a little bit more than, getting the wind knocked out of you to keep Alex down, but boy, no regard for his body at all.
He will sit down and shake out the cobwebs as Lloyd Phillips checks in, or no, it's Osiris Eldridge who checks in for him.
Dick, they're checking the elbow. You kind of wonder, did he hit this crazy bone?
Yeah.
That'll get your attention.
He's moving everything around okay, so I don't think he broke anything.
He'll be back in. I guarantee it.
Kenneth Fareed now has 6 points. Made a couple of free throws earlier. We mentioned a 61%er from the line, tries to convert the three-point play. Meanwhile, who is that foul against for the Birds? As Fareed's free throw is good, he does complete the three-point play, and the Redbirds lead is down to 2, 25-23, as the Redbirds put it in play. Phillips to Thornton, shy of the timeline. He shoves it across to Eldridge, who goes toward the goal, fires the jump shot, gets it from 14 feet away. Oh, has missed only one shot all night. He has 14 points, and the Birds lead by 4 at 27-23. Thornton is the one who committed that foul that put Fareed at the line. It was his first, team's fifth, as Morehead State is in the front court with just under 6 minutes to play here in the half. Here's the bounce pass stolen by Kellen Thornton. Stepped in front of the intended recipient, Fareed, and the Birds have the ball. Thornton to Johnson. Terry Johnson leaves it for Eldridge. Osiris inside Carmichael, spins it back out. Here's Kellen, picks up his dribble, finds Osiris, moves to the baseline, fires the shot. It's not good. Rebound for Peterson of Morehead State, who comes back the other way. Birds still up by 4. Peterson down low to Fareed, bangs with Carmichael, and as he jumps it up there, a whistle and a foul on the Redbirds. Phillips trying to help out as Carmichael got banged pretty hard by Fareed. Lloyd reaching in from the weak side.
Well, you talk about a good learning experience. Jackie Carmichael, the big freshman out of Manhattan, Kansas, going against Kenneth Fareed, one of the best interior players in the country.
And Fareed back at the line to shoot a couple, first of which is good.
He doesn't look like a 61%er, does he?
Not so far. He's 4 for 4. And cuts the lead to 3. Peterson and Stallworth are out. Simmons and Goodman are in for Morehead State. They've gone pretty deep to their bench. They've used 9. I believe the Birds have used 10 with Terry Johnson's entrance into the game. As that free throw is missed, but rebounded by Goodman, who dribbles out of there. And another opportunity here for Morehead State to add to the point for this possession, but there's a steal by Kellen, and then it's knocked away from him. He couldn't find the handle, and coming down with it is Les Simmons, and he called for a timeout before he was tied up by Thornton. So Kellen made the steal, but then lost it right back, And with 5:03 left in the half, and the Birds up 27-24, it is Morehead State's ball. This 32nd timeout brought to you by O'Brien Mitsubishi. Visit today at Fort Jesse Road and Veterans Parkway in Normal, or at O'BrienTeamNormal.com.
Yeah, Thornton with a nice takeaway, Dick. He probably should have just gathered the ball in, but he was trying to scoop it up on the move and take it to the goal. But first things first, he never did quite get the handle.
Well, when you make a steal that high, and he was up not that far from the timeline, it's usually a pretty good opportunity to score the goal. So the question is it worth the risk when you're having trouble finding the handle to try to get something going? He took the risk, and he paid for it.
Yeah, if you're asking me, I would say no. Always gather the ball. It's almost like a football fumble, Dick. You know, you always see kids trying to advance it. Why not pounce on it, gain possession? And that's the worst thing that can happen is if you have possession in the turnover.
Redbirds make no changes. It's still Phillips, Johnson, and Osiris out there with Thornton and Odiakosa. Into the front court come the Eagles. Up top, Sam Goodman goes to the left wing. And here's the drive by Harper. Osiris stays with him. Birds have done a pretty good job on him so far. Simmons, right of the lane. Hands it off. Goodman, a jump stop, and he lost the ball, but gets it back. Phillips knocked it away. Goodman recovered it. Now the drive by Simmons. Ball knocked away again, and it's Terry Johnson who took his ball and comes the other way. Thornton with it. In the corner, Phillips. And Johnson nearly lost it. Nobody can hang on to that thing as a three is not good by Kellen, and the rebound for Harper. Morehead State the other way. Now 4:17 left here in the first half. Birds still lead 27-24. Fareed kicks it back out, and with it on the left wing is Brandon Shingles, who moves inside, loses the ball, picked off by Dina. Phillips with it now. Phillips driving to the goal. The runner, no, but a whistle and a charge is called against Lloyd. So there's another turnover against the Redbirds. Turnovers are piling up for both teams. 10 against Morehead State. That's the 8th against the Redbirds. As Fareed, who's been held down pretty well, he does have 8 points, but has not been a force on the boards. The nation's leading rebounder has just 3 here in the first 16 minutes of the game, as Morehead State is across the timeline.
Alex Rubin checks in. Lloyd checks out. Good to see Alex back on the floor.
As Shingles dribbles across the top of the circle, we have a whistle and a foul, and it's an offensive foul away from the ball called against Les Simmons, and that gets us to an official timeout. First on him, 5th on the team, as the Redbirds will have the ball when we resume play. Donnie Tyndall not too enamored with that last call as he argues with one of the officials. 27-24 Birds, 3:49 left in the half as we're back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Hello, this is David Smith at Ron Smith Printing. On the 3rd of September 2009, Ron Smith Printing marked its 50th year of serving the graphics and printing needs of Central Illinois. Over the years, we have seen a lot of changes in the products we produce and the way we produce them. One thing that has not changed is the value we place on how our customers are treated. Whether your order is large or small, it gets the same dedicated service to see that it measures up to the expectations you have for the finished product. At Ron Smith Printing, we offer the highest quality full-color brochures, multi-page booklets, business cards, letterheads, and envelopes. We can also provide your company or organization with a full line of promotional products and advertising specialties to keep your business name and website in front of your customers. Call on us today. We're located at 2425 South Main Street in Bloomington.
Redbird Basketball on the WJBC Country Financial Redbird Radio Network is brought to you by Country Financial. What's your idea of financial security?
The Redbird women's basketball team, they return to action this afternoon. They're set to tip off in Carbondale against the Salukis here in just a few moments. You can hear that one online at WJBC.com. In fact, they have just tipped off down in Carbondale. Let's head back out to Redbird Arena. Dick and Maddie.
Thanks, Zach. 27-24. The men lead here at Redbird Arena over Morehead State in the annual Bracket Buster contest. 3:49 left in the first.
Dick, my keys aren't looking too good. I thought we needed to keep Morehead State at 12 and under offensive boards. They already got 7 of those, and I thought we needed to commit 12 or fewer turnovers, and we already got 8 of them.
But the Birds lead.
That's far more important than the keys.
It is.
But maybe not to me.
But to the population in general,
you think?
Although I know a lot of people are concerned about your keys, generally speaking, not as concerned as they are about whether the Birds win.
Very true, but I just don't want to see the switchboard light up on Zach back at the station just because the keys are off. Let's get the victory. We'll worry about the keys later.
As Ruben inbounds it to Terry Johnson, shy of the timeline, Terry dribbles it across and moves up to the top. Picks up his dribble, spins it to Osiris. Now Thornton back to O. Up high, Johnson. 23 to shoot as Ruben gets it. Birds pass outside the zone. Now penetrating is Eldridge, and he threw it behind Kellen Thornton, who went down the baseline. Eldridge thought he was going to spot up in the corner, and so the shot sailed behind him. I would have
to agree with Osiris. Usually Kellen Thornton's nailed to the floor outside behind the arc, and one time he decides to go to the goal. Osiris guesses wrong and throws it behind him. So turnover number 9.
I was just going to say, a lot of turnovers against the Redbirds. Shingles up top for Morehead State. Comes around to the left side. Rubin guarding him in the Redbird man-to-man. Stallworth up top. Moves to the right. 20 to shoot for the Eagles. Shingles to Harper. Goodman now down the baseline. Fareed against Dienma. Muscles inside. Jump hook. Good. Fareed now with 10 points here in the first half, and it's 27-26. The Redbird lead down to 1.
Yeah, Fareed's gotten those points relatively quietly. Dick, if you tell somebody he's got 10, not many people would believe you.
Dienma shy of the timeline, lost the ball. It's out of bounds. It's off of Morehead State and belongs to the Redbirds.
I'll tell you what, Morehead State really has active hands, quick feet. They're in the passing lane, and they're contesting everything defensively.
Their opponents turn it over. The opponents they've played against so far this year have turned it over on 23.5% of their possessions.
I believe it.
Really good at forcing mistakes.
Well, they're so active and so quick.
Johnson across the timeline to Alex Rubin. 2:42 now left in the half. Here's Osiris on the right side, inside to Dienma, but knocked out of bounds by Morehead State. Birds will put it in play with 18 to shoot.
Yeah, bounce pass would have been better served for Osiris to kick it inside. Dienma had his man sealed off, but as usual, Morehead State had a couple hands in the passing lane.
Oh, looks it over and lobs it up high to Dienma, who gets it to Rubin. Alex brings it up top. Thornton with it now. Kellen to Eldridge, into the paint he goes, shoves it to Alex. The long one is good. Three-pointer, Alex Rubin from the deep right corner. Redbirds up 4, 30-26. And across the timeline comes Brandon Shingles. 2:13 now left in the half. Birds have led by as many as 6. They're up 4 right now. Shingles with it. Morehead State has had just one lead of 1 point. Stallworth hands it to Shingles. Gives up the dribble. Now the ball to Harper inside Fareed. And he lost it, but goes to get it at the baseline. Now too far from the bucket. 6 to shoot. He bounces it off of Dienma's knee. 5 seconds to shoot as the Eagles will put it in play. Fareed in a jam there bailed himself out with a heads-up play. But they only have 5 seconds here to find a shot as Harper looks to put it in play. Does to Stallworth. Now Fareed outside the arc, hands it to Harper. A bomb is not good as the shot clock horn sounds, but the rebound for them, and the layup is good. Give the basket to Steve Peterson as they get another offensive rebound and score the goal that cuts the lead in half. And now Fareed with a steal, but he had to save it in, and Osiris dunks it as he saved it into O with his momentum to the goal. O blasted by one defender and dunked it down for a 32-28 Redbird lead.
Boy, no substitution for quickness, is there, Dick?
And good fortune.
It's a tough combination.
That ball was inbounded to the right spot for the Redbirds on that save-in by Fareed. Here's Shingles. Inside Fareed, layup, no, but he's fouled on the play. Thornton was there, and Kellen is the one called for the foul. Or was it Dienma? It is Odiakosa who is also there. First on him. And Fareed, who missed the shot, will get 2 free throws with 1:06 left to play here in the half. And Fareed really starting to be more of a force here as this game goes along. The junior from Newark, New Jersey, shoots the first of 2, up and not good. Now we're seeing more of that 61% free throw shooting ability. He made his first 4, but now has missed 2 straight. Another one for Fareed, who looks to cut the lead to 3. He's the only Eagle player who's been to the line in this game. His 7th attempt coming up here. Missed it very short. Rebound Osiris. And the Redbirds come the other way. As O moves it across the timeline. Now a minute left in the half. Osiris, right of the lane drive, and he lost it. He was picked clean by Shingles to Hill, and a layup. Terrence Hill is good, and the lead cut in half. And now the Birds inbound it, with Osiris getting it to Dean Munn, getting it back. Difference between the clocks is 8 seconds. Hill's first basket has made it 32-30. The Redbird lead is just 2. Terry Johnson at the top. Jump stop and collision and a whistle and a foul against Morehead State with 30 seconds to go in the period. Terrence Hill picks up his first. It's the 6th on the team, and so I think, yes, inbound pass coming for the Redbirds. Maybe that's good. They can hold it now for the final shot. As Eldridge gets it to Rubin. Shot clock turned off. Birds up by 2, 32-30, as Johnson has it way up high. The freshman from Chicago gets it to Alex Rubin. Now back to Terry as the Birds wait for the final shot here of the first half. High post pass, Thornton, who almost wasn't ready for it, and then he does lose it. Morehead State picks it off, but then throws it away as the Birds applied a little pressure there after the steal, and the teams trade turnovers again. It has been something of a turnover fest here, and the Redbirds have it back with now 7.7 seconds left in the period. Johnson will inbound it. And into the backcourt it goes to Osiris. Now 5 as Osiris to the arc. Pulls up, fires, and it's good at the buzzer. Osiris dribbled to within 15 and then faded back and hit about an 18-footer to give the Redbirds a 34-30 lead here at the intermission. What a first half for O. 18 points on 7 for 9 from the field. He hit 4 for 4 from three-point territory. 34-30, Illinois State with the advantage. Back with more after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
This is J.D. He's been a rancher on the Fort Twig for 35 years. Now he works for Meyer.
All those years out on the range, I thought I'd learned a thing or two about what makes for the best cuts of meat. Then I had a Meyer Prime Sirloin, and I learned I was wrong. Wrong like a steer with no horns. First bite, and I knew I'd been running around with a bunch of city slickers playing pretend cowboy. But now that I'm at Meyer, I've seen the light.
Meyer, carrying nothing but the best cuts of meat for our customers. Never below choice. Unlike other stores, the Meyer way. Not just a better price, a better store.
Are you facing an unexpected career change or early retirement? Steve Peterson, your country financial representative in Bloomington, can help you get the answers to your tough financial questions. Learn how to make the best use of your 401k rollover, severance, or other lump sum payment. Steve Peterson will review your personal situation and provide a retirement needs analysis to help guide your decisions. Discover your options with Steve Peterson.
Interesting to see how the game changes here in the second half. Illinois State shot the ball extremely well. Fareed really didn't get involved offensively, but it'll be interesting to see how the game changes here in the next 20 minutes.
As the Birds have the first possession of the second half, there is your second half entry pass. Alex Rubin makes it to Lloyd Phillips, and here we go. We're underway at Redbird Arena as Osiris has it on the right wing. Guarded by Goodman. He comes up to the top, and his pass is tipped and stolen. There's turnover number 12 as Fareed has it. Down the floor he goes. Now it comes out to Harper, and he deals it up top to Stallworth. Morehead State with its original starting lineup back in there as Fareed nearly lost it in the post, but rescues the ball and gets it out to Shingles, who penetrates the arc. Now feeds it back. Harper to Shingles, who spots up and misses a three from the left corner, and the rebound, Osiris Eldridge. Here come the Redbirds. Oh, gets it to Rubin on the left wing. Alex lobs it inside, and he threw it away. Fareed picked it off. Turnover number 13.
Boy, did Alex telegraph that one.
Harper to Stallworth, and a three is not good, and the rebound, Rubin after Osiris kept it alive. Phillips with it. So nobody scored here in the first minute of the second half. The Birds looking for their first shot after a couple of turnovers.
Morehead, if you hesitate, Dick, you're dead because they are so quick to the ball.
Odiakosa hands it off to Osiris, who fires a three. That one's way off to the right. The rebound for Fareed of Morehead State. And the outlet to Harper, who steams into the front court, but now a whistle and a travel is called on the man to whom he passed the ball. Steve Peterson. That travel reminds us of Susie Davis Traveled American Express, Central Illinois Vacation Authority, and winner of the prestigious American Express 2009 Representative Excellence Award. Visit online at suzidavis.com.
Steve Peterson, really a good player for Morehead State. Dick, he's sporting a goatee. We haven't seen many of those this year. I like the look.
Goatee helps him play well, you think?
Yep. Makes him look a little meaner, too.
Phillips to Lewis for the Redbirds in the corner. Alex a three, which is good. He got knocked down. Count the goal. Foul is called. A 4-point play possibility for the junior out of suburban Minneapolis, Minnesota. Wow. And a 7-point lead for the Redbirds is the biggest of the game, as Rubin now has 9 points.
I think you'd look good in a goatee, Dick.
If I could only grow one. The foul was called on Stallworth, his first, and of course the team's first here in the half. Alex, who's 16 for 20 from the line this year, is now 16 for 21. But the Birds get the rebound. Tipped out to Alex, a three. Osiris in and out. Rebound, Dienma out to Phillips. Alex to Osiris, who penetrates inside the Lewis. Ball knocked out, and Phillips rescues it. Birds flirt with the turnover, but somehow they still have the ball. As Lloyd drives inside, puts on the stop, and now gets the shot blocked, but it comes to Dienma, and now Tony Lewis tried to put it up there, but he got it knocked out of bounds by Morehead State. Birds still have the ball, even though Morehead State has touched it about as often as the Redbirds have here over the last 20 seconds or so. They'll inbound with 17 to shoot. My goodness. Osiris lobs it to Dienma. And here it comes to Alex Rubin. Rubin to Eldridge. Oh, gets a screen, but can't really use it. Now he goes into the paint, hooks the pass to Lewis, inside shot. Nobody's fouled on the play by Fareed. And so the Birds go back to the free throw line, and this is turning out to be a pretty good possession for the home team.
And time of possession.
Yeah, well, the length of the possession is one of the reasons it is so good. Well, let's see what Lewis can do from the line after Alex missed his opportunity in an effort to complete the 4-point play. Lewis looks for a 2-point play, 70%er on the season, shoots it good.
Never seen anybody shoot free throws quite like Tony Lewis.
Yeah, they are.
It's either
arching.
Yeah, but it's either 100% net or an absolute brick.
Yeah. He spins it and fires it. Not good. There was your brick as it's rebounded by Goodman. Birds are 3 for 6 from the line, but lead 38-30 now after the free throw by Tony Lewis. Biggest lead of the game. Shingles with it. Up top to Harper. Now it comes to Peterson, and as he looked to make his move, there's a foul.
Got one on Lloyd for holding on.
Off the ball, and that's 3 on Phillips, so that's not good.
You know, he wasn't even there.
He was off the ball. And apparently holding whoever he was guarding. As the ball is inbounded by Morehead State on the first team foul against the Redbirds. For now, Lloyd stays on the floor with that third foul. Here's Shingles, moving to the left, gets inside, hands it to Fareed, who goes up and puts it in, but it is a travel against Fareed, who got tangled up with a couple of Redbird defenders. So another turnover against the Eagles, and the Birds put it in play. Against the pressure, here's Lloyd Phillips. Phillips stops at three-quarter court, goes to Rubin. Now across the timeline, Tony Lewis with it. And back to Phillips and over to Alex. A bomb is good. Rubin was 28 feet away. That's the longest shot he's taken all year. And it gives the Birds their longest lead of this game as they're up 11, 41-30 with 17:01 to go. An officials or a 30-second timeout called by Morehead State, which extends to a full timeout. So we'll break. We're back with more after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
What's your idea of financial security?
I see myself with my school loans all paid off. Totally. Completely. Then I'll go from there.
Well, probably knowing the roof over my family's head is protected against whatever life brings.
Kids out of the house. Just me and my wife. And time to go to the place where my great-grandparents are from.
When we have enough to say, we'll be okay.
Wherever you're starting from, whatever your personal financial goals, Country Financial can help you balance your need to protect what you have with your desire to build for the future. Your Country Financial representative listens to your own definition of financial security and then helps you create a tangible plan to achieve it. At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
See the Country Financial representative near you or visit countryfinancial.com.
41-30, the Birds have shut out Morehead State here so far in the second half, Mike. 2 minutes and 59 seconds in. Remember, they started the half here against Missouri State on Wednesday with a 15-0 run, and it's a 7-0 run so far here.
Yeah, they shut them down, Missouri State, wasn't it, for the first 5 minutes of the second half? But, boy, good defense. I don't know what adjustments we're making at halftime, but it seems like not only are we playing better defense, but we're playing with more energy. They probably go hand in hand, but Morehead State's kind of shell-shocked. You can see it in their eyes.
Well, it could be better, but the Birds started the half with 2 turnovers on the offensive end. But now they've scored 7 points, with Morehead State scoring none. Alex Rubin with his 4th 3 of the game. That equals his high as a Redbird as far as made threes in a game is concerned, and he's 1 shy of his career scoring high of 13 points.
Well, he shot that one from Tyrese Bryson area. He was a good 5 feet behind the three-point line. He went up to shoot it, and I thought it maybe was a lob or something. I expected somebody to come slicing in there, but then he let it go. It was nothing but the bottom of the net. Very pure 3, and I didn't know Alex had that kind of range.
Well, he's 4 for 5 from 3, and Eldridge is 4 for 6.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. 8 for 11 between those two guys from outside the arc. Ty Profit in the game for Morehead State has the ball in the front court for the Eagles. Fareed outside the arc comes out to get the ball. Now Harper with it. Moves to the top, fires a 3, and it's not good. And the long rebound right back to Harper, who gets it to the corner. Here's Peterson spinning and going to Profit in the corner. Drive by Harper and a layup. No, and the rebound, Dienma, who outlets it to Phillips. Lloyd, playing with 3 fouls, comes across the timeline. Behind the back with a dribble. And he gets it to Alex Rubin. Now inside, Dienma against Fareed. Pretty good position. Turns and shoots it. No good. Rimmed in and out. And the rebound, a battle. As a hell ball will be called, it will be Morehead State's turn with 16-14 left here in the opening half. Phillips does have 3 fouls, I assume. Yes, that's what the stat sheet says. And that's what my sheet has. I'm just a little surprised that he's still in the game, Mike.
You want him out of here?
No, I don't, but it's interesting. It'll be something to ask Coach Jank about after the game. He's sticking with Lloyd, and I think it's partly that he trusts Lloyd. He knows he's a senior, and he knows how to avoid that 4th foul.
I kind of get the feeling if you're coaching Dick, Lloyd's on the bench.
Ty Profit moves to the right wing. Well, fortunately, I'm not coaching. As Simmons has it to the wing. Peterson up top. Here's Harper with it. Down the lane he goes, and a runner produces a whistle, and that may be against Lloyd. No. They called it on Alex Rubin. That's good news. Lloyd was right there. Rubin trying to help, and he picks up his 2nd foul. That gets us to an official's timeout. 15:54 now left to go in the ball game, and the Redbirds up 11 here against Morehead State. It's 41-30 Illinois State. Back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
After months of anticipation,
after hundreds of hours gathering Illinois' best used vehicles and marking them down,
it's finally ready.
O'Brien Mitsubishi is launching the new year with the launch of our brand new used car outlet. You've never seen so many beautiful pre-owned vehicles. Get to O'Brien Mitsubishi's brand new used car outlet for all the best makes, all your favorite models. Shop our budget area with vehicles
from $29.95 to $99.95.
Or check out our huge selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, and luxury vehicles. You name it, O'Brien Mitsubishi's brand new used car outlet has it. With your purchase, you'll receive a money-back guarantee, an extended warranty, and complimentary roadside assistance.
O'Brien Mitsubishi is your used vehicle locator.
Can't find what you want? Bring us your used car request. We'll track down the car of your dreams. Don't miss the launch of O'Brien Mitsubishi's used car outlet at the same great location on the corner of Fort Jesse and Veterans Parkway in Normal. Click O'BrienTeamNormal.com. Plus tag title. See dealer for details.
McLean County's voice for weather.
1230 WJBC and WJBC.com.
3.5 minutes left down in Carbondale, and the Redbird women's basketball team on top by 10, 36-26. You can listen to that one online at WJBC.com with R.C. McBride. We'll keep you posted on that one. Now back out to Redbird Arena, Dick and Maddie.
Thanks, Zach. Of course, they're in the first half in Carbondale. We're in the second half here as we started about 30 minutes earlier than the women did at Southern Illinois. And our score, 41-30. The Birds by 11. They're still pitching a shutout here so far in the second half, Mike.
And I'm sure I thought during that timeout, Kenneth Fareed, the big all-conference player for Morehead State, went into the huddle and just let a couple of the guards have it. He was doing all the talking, they were doing all the listening, and I'm sure the message was, hey, throw the ball into me once in a while. I'm doing all the work, throw it in here, and it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next 3 or 4 minutes, because he was almost demanding the basketball.
Lewis and Odiakosa still the guys inside for the Redbirds, and Phillips continues to play along with Eldridge and Rubin, so it's still the starters out there for the Redbirds, as they've ruled that Harper was fouled on the shot by Alex Rubin, so he goes to the free throw line here for Morehead State, looking to cut down the Redbirds' 11-point lead and looking to score the first point of the second half for the Eagles. He does not on that free throw. He missed it badly. Another one coming for Harper with 15:54 left to go in the game. Shoots it and misses it, and the rebound Redbirds. Osiris took it out of there. They've missed their last 5 free throws after making their first 4. Here's Osiris inside Lewis, and he has to dribble away from his defender and hand it back to O. Lewis didn't look like he was ready for that pass.
Well, he had to be ready because Osiris put it right on the end of his nose.
Here's Tony getting the ball from Rubin. Now Phillips inside. A lob is loose. Osiris gets it. Re-whips the feed inside to Simmons, who tries to knock it off the Redbirds but couldn't do it. Stepped on the end line as he tried to do so. And the Redbirds, again, flirting with the turnover, but they still have the ball.
Well, he must have been standing on the end line when he hit it off Lewis.
That's got to be the call, but now they have overturned it.
That was the only thing I could think of was when he threw it in off of Tony, he had to be standing out of bounds, but that wasn't the case. I think they got the call right.
I do, too. As it is Morehead State's ball, the Birds do turn it over for the 14th time in this game. Nonetheless, they lead by 11, 41-30. Ty Profit, a sophomore out of London, Kentucky, brings it across the timeline. Here's Goodman just into the game. Jump stop and a lefty shot is good from 6 feet away, and so they're on the board. It took them almost 5 minutes. As Goodman scores his second basket, the Redbird lead down to 9 as they inbound against the pressure. Lewis to Eldridge. Bounce pass kicked by Morehead State. Whistle blows. Birds still have it. Shot clock at 29 seconds with 15:02 left now in the game.
Boy, they recover quickly on their full court pressure. I thought we had a 2 or 3 on 1, and they got back and kicked it out of bounds. I thought it was going to be a dunk for Dima, but boy, they recover very, very quickly.
Shingles in, Profit out. Here's a bad pass stolen by Shingles, heading the other way for the basket, and he lays it up and in. Something went wrong there as the Birds inbounded it deep, as they so often do, but nobody was deep for the Redbirds. It was like a lead pass to Shingles for an easy layup. His first basket cuts the lead to 7, and now the Birds in the front court. Phillips a bomb, and that's no good, and the rebound for Shingles of Morehead State, who shovels it to Harper on the right wing. Through the lane, a layup. No, he missed it. Rebound comes long to Lewis. Here come the Birds. Tony on the move. Gives it up now to Osiris, and the defense catches up with it, and that'll be a turnover against the Redbirds as the cross-court pass tipped by Fareed, and then Rubin lost it out of bounds, although he's claiming he never hit it. But it looked like he did to me, and
I think they got it right.
Belongs to the Eagles on yet another turnover against the Redbirds. That's 16 already with still 14 and a half minutes to go. We got to check what the high turnover number is for the Redbirds for a game this year. We've got to already be bearing down on it. Terrence Hill in the game now for Morehead State. To Stallworth. And now Shingles gets it to Mays Stallworth. Drives a runner. No. Rebound Stallworth, who goes up and draws the foul as Rubin was on the ball but also on his arm, and that's 3 on Alex. Birds' highest number of turnovers in a game this year is 18, and they're only 2 shy of that with 14 minutes to go. The other problem, Mike, is that the Redbirds' best ball handlers are getting into foul trouble. Rubin has 3, Phillips has 3. As Stallworth is at the line. His first free throw attempts of the game. The first one is good.
Turnovers are more of a key than we could even imagine.
Now Rubin, Odiakosa, and Lewis go out. Terry Johnson, who may become a very important part of this game, along with Justin Clark and Kellen Thornton, are in. Clark also handles the ball pretty well.
Johnson played 7 minutes in the first half and played fairly well, getting his feet wet.
As the free throw is good. Stallworth got them both. Lloyd Phillips now also on the bench. We mentioned Clark and Johnson both came in. Rubin and Phillips out. Here's Terry Johnson in the front court. The Birds are going to need some more good minutes from the freshman Johnson. 6 points in a row now scored by the Eagles, who are back to within 5. A 3 is good by Justin Clark from the left wing as it was kicked out to him. He spots up and gets a big bucket that stops that 6-point Morehead run, and the Birds back up by 8, 44-36.
Kind of a look into the future, huh? Terry Johnson to Justin Clark.
The 2 freshmen hook up, and now Morehead State with it in the front court. Here's Goodman on the right wing. Drives on Thornton, gets around him. The pass to the corner. Shingles a 3. It's good. So they get the 3 right back. Brandon Shingles with his first 3-pointer of the game, his second basket of the game, and the lead right back down to 5, 44-39. Carmichael in there for the Redbirds now. Johnson shoots it, misses it in the lane. Rebound for Morehead State. Terry Johnson took it to the goal, had to change his shot in midair, and that caused him to miss it. Shingles with a high dribble, gets away with it, drives to the goal, a whistle, and a foul against the Birds with 12:54 left, and Morehead State climbing right back in. Johnson picks up his first.
Morehead State really has the ability to dictate the tempo with their defense, with their offense, with their athleticism. They really do a nice job of dictating the tempo. They make you play at their pace. Terry Johnson, I think, found himself guilty right there of playing a little bit too fast.
4th foul against the Birds this half. Morehead State to inbound it. And Shingles with a long look gets it into Fareed, and as he gets it, somebody's on his arm. I wonder if that was before the shot. No, they say on the shot. 2 shots coming up. Carmichael picks it up, his first, team's 5th. And Fareed, who's 4 for 7 from the line in this game, goes to the line for 2. He could cut the lead all the way to 3. Birds were up 11 at 41-30, but Morehead State has outscored them 9-3 since then, as the free throw is good. First second half point for Fareed, who now has 11 for the game. Another one for the junior from Newark, New Jersey. Spins it in his hands and shoots it not good, and the rebound for the Redbirds. High up there is Osiris Eldridge to pull it down, and O now comes across the timeline. Here's Johnson. Bounce past Carmichael, back to Terry up on top. Justin Clark with it. Clark moves toward the right, gets it to Terry. Johnson to the baseline, pulls up, fires, got fouled as he missed the shot from about 16 feet away. Johnson will go to the line. As Shingles commits his second, it's only the 3rd against the team. And Terry Johnson, who, as we mentioned earlier, has played very little lately, goes to the line where he is 81% this year. In the games in which he has played, he's averaged an attempt and a half from the line. He's pretty good at getting to the line. He hasn't played a lot of minutes. As the free throw is short. Not good.
Freshman point guards, Dick, are kind of like freshman quarterbacks. You don't see a lot of them. It's a hard position to learn. Terry Johnson seems to be improving game to game and practice to practice. And he is the future at the point guard position, so minutes like this for him are very valuable.
He tries again here for his first point of the game as Rubin checks in, replacing Osiris with 12 and a half minutes left, and the Birds up 4. That free throw is good. So it's a 5-point Illinois State lead at 46-40, or 45-40, excuse me. And Morehead State comes across the line. Here's Shingles, guarded by Johnson, who stays with him. Now the pass out. Peterson with the goatee up on top. Leaves it for Stallworth. Now Shingles on the right side. Right of the lane, spinning shot, no good, but a follow dunk by Fareed, who has 13 points now, and the Redbirds lead down to just 3. Johnson gets the inbound pass. Ahead to Rubin, and Alex shoves it to Terry at three-quarter court. He's called for a walk. He took off too quickly. Turnover against the Redbirds, and that travel reminds us of the folks at Susie Davis Travel. Contact them today to find out more about their exclusive 2010 honeymoon packages, providing the added amenities every honeymoon deserves. Officials timeout with 11:54 to go. The Redbird lead was once 11. Now it's only 3 at 45-42 as we're back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
This is Giuseppe. He spent his life working as a bread maker in Italy. Now he works for Meyer.
Ah, mio boss, he lied to me. They do not make the best, freshest bread in Italy. No, they make the freshest Italian bread here in Meyer 4 times daily. What is years of kneading the tough dough until my fingers were numb? It is nothing. They are just fingers. Now I stay in the land of the freshest bread around, the land of Meyer. My true home.
Meyer, making fresh bread for our customers 4 times a day, every day. The Meyer way. Not just a better price, a better store.
Buying a new or used car can be nerve-wracking, but Extreme Motors takes the worry of buying a car right out of the equation. Drive Hyundais, Kias, and Nissan, and buy with confidence, because Extreme Motors offers lifetime warranties on all new and used vehicles. Extreme Motors, 2029 Ireland Grove Road, and 1608 South Morrissey in Bloomington, or visit driveextreme.com.
Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Go Extreme. Extreme is the one. Click, click, click. DriveExtreme.com.
This is Illinois State head women's basketball coach Robin Pinkston, and this is your voice for the Redbirds, 1230 WJBC. Go you Redbirds.
Redbird women's basketball at the half, leading Southern Illinois 42-29. Aisling Bracey leading all scorers with 15 points. You can listen to that one online at WJBC.com. Before we head back out to Redbird Arena, let's pause and allow our network stations to identify themselves on the WJBC Country Financial Redbird Radio Network.
News, sports, weather, talk, and all things local.
This is your voice for the Redbirds.
1230 WJBC and WJBC.com.
1230 WJBC and WJBC HD, Bloomington Normal.
We'll keep an eye on that Redbird women's basketball game, but now back out to Doug Collins Court at Redbird Arena, and Dick Lutke and Mike Matthews.
Zach, it's 45-42 here. The Redbird lead down to 3, and Morehead State will inbound the ball. As Dinma Odiakosa is out there with Thornton, Clark, Johnson, and Rubin. So Dinma replaces Carmichael, otherwise same people on the floor for the Birds. As Morehead looks to get it in place, Stallworth gets it and hands it off to Hill. Terrence Hill on the drive. Now he backs off a little bit, down low to Fareed, but stolen by Dinma, and he saves it in. Johnson has it. Ahead to Justin Clark. Clark on the right wing. Deals it to Rubin. Now Johnson on the left side. A baseline drive for Terry. Picks up his dribble out to Rubin. Opens 3. It's no good off the back iron. Rebound Johnson, and as he goes in, he draws the foul. Boy, Rubin had that one right at the back of the iron. It popped out of there. Luckily, Johnson there to rebound the miss, and then he's fouled by Terrence Hill, and Terry goes back to the line. The attendance this evening, 5,953, just barely less than what we had here for the Wednesday night game against Missouri State when it was a bit over 6,000. 4th team foul against Morehead State, and Terry Johnson, the 81%er from the line coming in, shoots this free throw up and in. Rubin out of the game now. And Osiris back in. Another attempt for Johnson is on the way, and he got it. Got them both. Terry enlarges the Redbird lead to 5, 47-42. And the Redbirds dig in on defense as Shingles comes across the line. Here it comes to the right wing. Terrence Hill up top. Now left side, Shingles. Knock away and a steal by Thornton. Stepped in front of Fareed, anticipating the pass beautifully, and stole the ball. And now at the other end, a foul against the Redbirds. Dinma Odiakosa away from the ball, called for holding Fareed, his second. 6 against the Birds. But Birds had possession of the ball when the foul occurred, and so no free throws here. Morehead State gets the possession. So just as Kellen Thornton makes that brilliant defensive play, the Birds give the ball right back to the Eagles, who still trail by 5. 11 minutes to go. Shingles to Harper on the right side. Dribbles up toward the top. Now attacks the goal. A runner rolling. No good. The rebound tipped around. Fareed's got it. Puts it up. Misses. And who's going to get it now? They've got it as it's put up and in. The foul is called. Basket will count for Harper. Lead down to 3. And he can go to the line and cut it to just 2. Clark is the one called for the foul, first on him, as Harper scores his 3rd basket of the game.
You know, Dick, earlier in the year we talked about how important offensive rebounding was to some teams, and some teams send 2, some teams send 3. Morehead State sends all 5.
That's why they're one of the best rebounding teams in the country, as the free throw is good. Harper completes the three-point play, and the Redbird lead now all the way down to 2 points at 47-45 as Osiris runs the baseline against the pressure and gets it to Dienma. And now to Clark, back to Odiokosa, and he'll set up Eldridge, who will get it across the timeline with 3 seconds to spare. Birds in the front court, 10.5 minutes to go in this one. Birds by just 2. Terry Johnson has played well. He's on the left wing. Moves up to the top, gets it inside to Lewis. Great pass and a layup, yes. Johnson with the assist. Tony with his first basket of the game. Birds by 4. 49-45. Lloyd Phillips, who's been resting quite a while with those 3 fouls, will check back in here at the next whistle. Shingles goes to Harper. Up on top, here's Fareed. Left side it goes. Peterson with it. Now Fareed hands it off. Stallworth with 15 to shoot. They pass outside the arc. Shingles on the drive. Spins it back to Stallworth. Penetrates. Almost lost it. Shingles gets the ball, ducks under, and scores the goal. Nice move by Brandon Shingles, and the Redbird lead down to 2 again. 49-47 as Odiokosa gets the inbound pass. Somebody needs to come to him. Dienma dribbles it, picks up his dribble, and now gets it across to Tony. Here's the lob, and it hit the rim as he wanted to get it to a lob for Clark, but it was a bad pass. Shingles has it for Morehead State. He goes into the lane, pass to the corner, three-pointer, no, by Peterson, and the rebound for Osiris. That would have given Morehead the lead. Eldridge with it. And he picks it up and goes to Justin. Clark now, a screen as he moves to the left. Johnson, the lob inside. Dienma makes the catch. The weak side defender bangs into him as he makes the catch. Stallworth commits the foul. It's his 2nd. It'll be inbounded by the Redbirds, as that is only team foul number 5 against Morehead State. And now Rubin and Phillips both back in, and out go Johnson and Clark, who gave the Redbirds some valuable minutes there.
Yeah, Johnson really has done a nice job here in the second half, feeding the post. That was a beautiful pass inside to Dienma.
Meanwhile, Shingles and Peterson and Stallworth out for Morehead State. Simmons and Profit come in along with Sam Goodman. As the Redbirds inbound it, Rubin makes the catch up top. Now here's Eldridge with it. And Osiris to Alex. Under 9 minutes to play. Birds have a 2-point lead in the ball. Phillips to Osiris, back to Lloyd. Left side, Alex. Rubin continues the dribble. Now a drive by Eldridge, and he's fouled by Simmons. 16 fouls. After the whistle, apparently Fareed didn't hear the whistle and continued to defend Osiris, bumped him a bit, but meant nothing by it as the two actually shake hands.
Well, Fareed had a hold of him, too, not so as not to knock Osiris down, and I had no problem with the play whatsoever.
So the Birds will inbound it on the 16th foul against Morehead State. And Osiris puts it into the backcourt to Phillips. Fareed comes out of the game. Simmons now is the man in the middle in the Morehead State zone. Here's the lob into that middle of the zone. Dienma, a tough catch, gets it to the corner to Phillips. And he gets it out. Lloyd does to Rubin. 20 to shoot. Dienma couldn't catch that thing cleanly, and so he couldn't do anything with it after he did catch it, except get it back outside. Phillips with it. Jump stop and a bad pass, knocked around and picked off. by Morehead State. 18th turnover against the Redbirds equals their season high, as Harper is across the timeline. Here comes to the left wing, Profit with it. 2-point lead for the Birds. Morehead State has the ball. Harper shoots off the dribble and misses it, and the rebound, Osiris. Eldridge with a good rebounding game. He has 6 of them. Here's O on the baseline drive, and a runner, no. Got his own rebound and got fouled as he tried to put it back up there. And we'll go to the line with 7:44 to go in the game. But first, an official's timeout as the foul is called against Les Simmons. Second on him, 7th on the team, but it is 2 here for Osiris, who was fouled in the act of shooting. Well, this one's a struggle. The Birds up by 11 early in this half. Lead by 2 right now, 49-47. 7:44 to go as we're back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Wally Mead, a retired college professor. Before I got into professing, I built houses in my hometown of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I can proudly point to a number of houses I had a hand in constructing. I'm proud because the materials I used and my craftsmanship have held up well over the years. My point? I know good craftsmanship and materials. Recently, when I decided to replace my windows, I went to George Nordine and picked out exactly what I wanted. His men demonstrated what I immediately recognized as good craftsmanship in installing these high-quality, energy-efficient windows. They look great, and already I'm heating more of the inside of my house and less of the outside. If you want the best materials and the best craftsmanship for any remodeling project, I suggest you call Nordine Remodeling at 888-4662 or visit Nordine at nordineremodeling.com. Tell him Wally Mead sent you.
Join me, Ron Ross, for information, trivia, interesting talk, and more late mornings on McLean County Station for the Illinois State Redbirds, 1230 WJBC.
Redbird basketball is brought to you in part by Bratcher Heating and Air. Don't let winter get the best of your heating system. Call Bratcher Heating and Air at 454-1611. 49-47 Redbirds. Interesting game, Mike. Morehead State, a very unique team, and the Redbirds are playing pretty well in some areas of the game, but certainly are having trouble taking care of the ball against this defense.
Morehead really plays a unique style. They play a scramble defense. Yes, they're playing a 2-3 zone, but until you actually see it in action, they're all over the floor. They're quick enough to cut down the passing lanes. And Illinois State has done well against it in the half-court game, but they're a unique team, as you mentioned. I haven't seen anybody all year that plays the style they play.
And Tim Jankovic told us in the pregame interview a little bit about how they played and made the point that the Redbirds really haven't gone up against anything like this all year, which makes it extra difficult.
Yep, and I hope we don't see anything like this the rest of the year.
Well, at least if we do, the Birds will have had a little experience against it.
Think that'd help?
Yeah. Don't you?
I don't know. This style is just, it just makes you play at a different speed. It just speeds you up and makes you make decisions that you normally wouldn't make, and a lot of turnovers.
Osiris at the line for a couple, the first of which is good. 80%er on the season. Osiris is Illinois State's best free thrower. It's his first attempt of this game, and that's his first point of the second half. He now has 19 for the game.
And he's the leading rebounder in the game, Dick, with 7.
Another one on the way, and he got that as well. 20 points for O, and the Redbird lead is back to 4, 51-47, as Morehead State comes across the timeline. Ty Profit out of London, Kentucky, is into the front court. Hands it off to Stallworth. Quick three. No good. Rebound Birds. Odiakosa. They set it up for a quick three as Dienma comes up with his 7th rebound. So he and O each with 7. Here's Phillips. Pulls up. Misses about a 10-footer. Rebound for Morehead State. Picked out of there by Shingles. Harper with it now at the right wing. Rubin on him. Up top. A bomb for Stallworth. He missed again. And the rebound, Rubin. 2 times in a row he's taken a quick three. And 2 times in a row he's missed the shot. Phillips with it now. Bounce pass into Dienma against Fareed. Dienma now double team. Now the double team goes away. Dienma shoots it and scores over Fareed. And the Redbird lead is 6, 53-47. First second half basket and first second half point for Odiakosa. 6-point Redbird advantage as the ball comes to the wing, and here's Harper with it. On the drive through the lane, kick out, and a bomb by Goodman is no good, and the rebound, Eldridge. 3 threes on 3 possessions for Morehead, And they've come up empty, and the Birds with a 6-point lead in the ball as Osiris attacks, fires as the whistle blows. He missed it, I think, on the shot. He'll go to the line for at least a 1-and-1. They'll give him 2 shots. With 6:28 left, Osiris can build the Redbird margin to as many as 8. As the foul is on Stallworth, it's his 3rd, and the team's 8th.
Osiris playing a very good game. Dick, is this the best game he's played all year? Well, he's very controlled, excellent defensively, taking good shots, rebounding the ball well.
Yep, it's certainly his best game in quite a while. I mean, some of those early games against some of the non-conference opponents were very good as well, but I can't remember a game.
All-around game,
right?
Yeah,
where he's played this well in every area.
Well, it's the perfect time of year for him to kick it in gear. Dima's playing as well as he is, and well, if you can get him and Osiris going at the same time.
O's high arching free throw is good. That looks like a Tony Lewis free throw.
Tony's been working with him.
O's 4 for 4 from the line, 22 points. Redbird lead is up to 8, 55-47. Morehead stayed in the front court.
I hope Morehead jacks up another 3, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. As now we get a whistle away from the ball and a foul on Lewis, I think, trying to help Dima with Fareed. And that will put Morehead State at the line. Kenneth Fareed walks to the stripe where he is 5 out of 9 so far in the game. He averages 7 attempts per game, which is a lot over the course of a season, but he has even more than that in this game. Foul on Tony is his 3rd, 8th on the Birds, and Fareed shoots a 1-and-1, first of which is no good, and the rebound, Dienma. And the Redbirds, who've scored the last 6 points of the game, are in the front court. Rubin, cross-court pass, Osiris, bobbled it, now fires, and he missed it, and the rebound taken out of there by Peterson. Peterson for Morehead State, ahead to Stallworth, angles toward the goal, a jump stop and a block on the shot by Dienma. Here's the pass ahead to, layup, yes! Birds lead by 10, 67-47, and a timeout by Donnie Tyndall, and the Morehead State Eagles with 5:48 left to go.
Well, I thought maybe Alex hadn't put enough steam on that one, but he led Osiris perfectly, and boy, nice transition after the block by Dima.
As the Birds, who did lead by 11 earlier, are now up 10, 57-47. This 32nd timeout is brought to you by Parkway Auto Laundry. Take a 10-minute timeout and have your vehicle cleaned at Parkway Auto Laundry. Osiris now with 24. His high for the season is 28, so he's creeping up on that.
And he's had 26 a couple times, so I'd like to see him get over the 30-point mark.
57-47 in favor of the Redbirds. Still 5:48 to go.
And Morehead State, Dick, with the style of play, this game is anything but over.
Well, considering that the Birds have turned it over 20 times, yeah, things can change in a hurry in a game like this. Shingles to Peterson on the left wing against Lewis. Peterson deals it to Stallworth on the right wing. Inside it goes, and Fareed, as he gets it, is bumped and fouled. Dienma is the one called this time, and that's 3 on him. 3 fouls each against Odiakosa, Lewis, Phillips, and Rubin, 4 of the 5 Redbird starters.
You know, Fareed averages 17 a game, Dick. He's got 13 so far in this game, but I don't think he gets the ball nearly enough. Do you?
I agree. He hasn't in this game. I'd want him to have it more. Free throw coming, and he missed it again, and the rebound taken out of there by Dienma Odiakosa, and the Redbirds still have a 10-point lead, and Rubin a 3, not good. Long rebound comes out to O. Birds have scored 8 straight, and with just over 5 minutes left, they lead by 10. Phillips with it now. Picks it up and finds Rubin, and back to Lloyd. Lloyd moves toward the left side. 17 to shoot as Phillips finds Lewis at the high post. He goes toward the goal, jump stop and a shot. No. Rebound tipped by Odiakosa. No, but a foul is called against Morehead State. That will put Odiakosa at the line. And it is Fareed who picks up his 2nd.
And that offensive rebound by Dima is rebound number 10.
Defensive rebound.
Offensive
the
rebound.
one he just got there. That's right. He does, and he had the defensive rebound down on this end, so he's piling them up in a hurry. as he goes to the line and shoots it up and gets it. I was confused there because you wouldn't normally get an offensive rebound because he didn't have control of the ball. It wasn't what I would have called a control tip, but because he was fouled, yeah, he gets the rebound. And Dienman now with 10 points to go with 10 rebounds, and now another free throw, not good that time. Rebound produces a reach-in foul on Tony Lewis, trying to get another Redbird offensive rebound. So we'll walk down to the other end where the Birds now equaling their biggest lead. They're up 11 at 58-47, and Morehead State is on the line. DeMonte Harper will be the one to shoot these free throws. Harper 1 for 3 from the stripe so far in this game, but he's a better free thrower than that under normal circumstances at 70%. As he bends the knees and shoots it up and gets it. His 8th point. And that is the first point in quite a while for Morehead State. Stops a 9-point run for the Redbirds.
Boy, they get their points in bunches, don't they?
Yeah. And so have the Birds in this game. As Lewis is out, Kellen Thornton is in after Tony picked up that 3rd foul. Another attempt, and Harper missed it, and the rebound, a foul on Fareed. As Rubin had great position, Fareed went over the top of him and commits his 3rd foul. Alex will get credit for the rebound, and will get to the free throw line.
Now, you're telling me that Alex Rubin had the rebound and Fareed came over the top of him?
Didn't he?
Exactly what happened. But, boy, if you'd have told me that 20 minutes ago, I'd have thought your medication was out of balance or something. But Alex had great position, and Fareed had nothing to do but come over the top of Alex, who had gotten in there among the trees.
And he got in there from the 3rd slot.
Oh, yeah.
A great move by the junior as he shoots the free throw up and in.
Alex's confidence just continues to grow. I mean, who would have thought last year that he would get a rebound over the top of Fareed? And some of the plays he makes this year and has made this year is a highlight reel in and of itself.
11-point Redbird lead. Now it's 12, biggest of the game, as Rubin has 14 points, which is his career high at Illinois State. Shingles with it for Morehead State. Right of the lane drive and a pass to the baseline. Now back to the corner it goes. Dribbling out is Harper. Picks up his dribble and travels with it. Good defense by the Redbirds. Thornton, I believe, is the one who forced that, as that travel reminds us of Susie Davis Travel American Express, Central Illinois Vacation Authority, and winner of the prestigious American Express 2009 Representative Excellence Award. Visit online at suzidavis.com.
And our defense is always a little bit better when Jackie Carmichael is lurking on the backside of that defense, looking to throw one back at somebody.
As Phillips has it across the timeline, here's Osiris with it now. Carmichael just checked in for Odiakosa as Osiris drives, scores, but no basket. He's called for the charge. Fareed went down right under the basket, and now is a little slow in getting up. He went down pretty hard, and trainer John Munn, who's been a busy man in this game, is out to take a look at Osiris.
I just hope it's not one of his wrists. Came down very awkwardly.
Meanwhile, the folks here at Redbird Arena wanted the call to go the other way. Assistant coach Rob Judson talking with one of the officials about it. As John Munn continues to attend to Osiris, who is in some pain. That doesn't look good. Foul on O is his first. Redbirds had possession on the foul, so no free throws. It'll be a possession for Morehead State. Morehead State has not scored a field goal in over 5 minutes of playing time. They've gotten all of their points during that. Well, actually, I think it's 1 point during that period is all they've scored, and that's obviously a free throw. The Birds were up 49-47. They have since outscored the Eagles 11-1 and changed the 2-point lead to a 12-point lead. Redbirds next play here at Redbird Arena, the last regular season home game for Illinois State, will go against Indiana State Wednesday night, 7:05 start time. Osiris up, walking off under his own power, but he is going to go to the bench. And they're going to check out, I think it might be the wrist, Mike. Justin Clark will replace Osiris as the fans continue to
What do you think of the call?
show their feelings about the call. Well, I really don't know. What do you think?
I thought it was a bad call. I thought he slid underneath him after Osiris had gotten to the goal.
He was underneath the basket, but you can call that college basketball.
Right.
Shingles with it for Morehead State. To Stallworth. Now on the right side, Harper with the ball. Up top it goes to Terrence Hill. Left side, Shingles. 13 to shoot. We're under 4 minutes left in the game. Shingles left to the lane drive. Back out Stallworth. The three is good. Mays Stallworth gets a much-needed three for the Eagles, who are within 9 now, 60 to 51. 3:45 left. Dinma Odiakosa checking to the scorer's table. Here's Phillips with it at three-quarter court. The pass ahead to Rubin. Now to Carmichael, and he got it there too late. Carmichael otherwise would have had a layup, but that's okay. The Redbirds looking to take some time off the clock as Phillips tries to save it in. The pass was too long for him. He wanted to avoid the over and back, but his save in went out of play, and that stops play because of our final officials' timeout of the game. 3:28 left. Morehead State back within 9, and they'll have the ball when we return after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Hello, this is David Smith at Ron Smith Printing. On the 3rd of September 2009, Ron Smith Printing marked its 50th year of serving the graphics and printing needs of Central Illinois. Over the years, we have seen a lot of changes in the products we produce and the way we produce them. One thing that has not changed is the value we place on how our customers are treated. Whether your order is large or small, it gets the same dedicated service to see that it measures up to the expectations you have for the finished product. At Ron Smith Printing, we offer the highest quality full-color brochures, multi-page booklets, business cards, letterheads, and envelopes. We can also provide your company or organization with a full line of promotional products and advertising specialties to keep your business name and website in front of your customers. Call on us today. We're located at 2425 South Main Street in Bloomington.
Redbird Basketball on the WJBC Country Financial Redbird Radio Network is brought to you by Country Financial. What's your idea of financial security?
60 to 51, Birds by 9, 3:28 left. Morehead State's ball when we return to play. Meanwhile, Osiris Eldridge, who walked with trainer John Munn up the tunnel, has now come back to the bench, so that's a good sign.
I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back into the game. And Osiris is one tough kid, and I was talking to athletic trainer John Munn one time about Osiris, and he said Osiris doesn't even know where the training room is. He's a tough kid. He tries to play through his nicks, and this time of the year, as many times as he's hit the floor and been hit, Osiris is a tough kid, and I imagine he'll return to this game.
Well, the Birds may need him. He certainly helps against that pressure.
Yeah, he really can. He can put the ball on the floor, and he can beat almost any pressure with his foot speed, and really can transition from one end of the floor to the other.
As the Redbirds come out with Odiakosa, Lewis, Clark, Phillips, and Rubin. So Osiris still on the bench for now, as Justin Clark is the one in for him. Fareed, Stallworth, Harper, Hill, Terrence Hill, and Shingles for Morehead State. Osiris walking to the scorer's table as Shingles has it knocked away, but he gets it back and now misses the shot, but Morehead gets the rebound. And Harper in the corner. Here's Shingles again, attacking with a jump stop and a fake and a layup. Good move by Brandon Shingles. All 9 of his points here in the second half, and the Redbird lead down to 7. Here come the Eagles again. Lewis with it shy of the timeline against the pressure. He moves it across the timeline, but over and back is the call.
No, offensive foul.
Oh, I'm sorry. He got right to the timeline. He dribbled the ball to the other side of the timeline. It looked like over and back, but at the same time, Tony lowered his shoulder into the defender and was called for the offensive foul. That's his 4th. And now he leaves the game as Osiris is back in.
I think it was a good call. I think sometimes Tony Lewis has to understand when he needs to give the ball up.
He's not the best ball handler on the team.
I think he's at the other end.
Closer to it, anyway. As I'm not sure why we have a stoppage of play right now, but this allows both teams to huddle up around their coaches. 2:57 left, and the Redbird lead is 7, but Morehead has the ball.
That's because the timeout or the delay, that was Tony Lewis's 5th foul.
I was behind a foul on him. So, yeah, he's out of the game. The first to foul out of this game. And it is Eldridge coming in for Tony Lewis. Osiris had already checked to the scorer's table. I think he was coming in for Lewis anyway, but the Birds still get that time if they want to use it. Although that's interesting. I thought maybe if you'd already chosen who your replacement was, you didn't get the time. But they did. And now Morehead State across the timeline with the ball down by 7. Harper with it up top. Spins it back out. Terrence Hill fakes the 3. Now Shingles with the ball. Spins in the lane. Steal by Rubin. He took his ball. And Osiris is across the timeline. Ahead to Justin. Pull-up shot. Yes! Huge play. Clark drains the 12-footer, and the Redbirds lead by 9. Morehead State across the timeline. 62-53, 2.5 minutes left. A 3 for Hill is good. And they're right back to within 6 as Terrence Hill drains the long-range jump shot with 2:21 left. And a timeout, a 30-second timeout called by Morehead State. This one brought to you by O'Brien Mitsubishi. Visit today at Fort Jesse Road and Veterans Parkway in Normal or at O'BrienTeamNormal.com.
I hope you don't think that Morehead's going to go away, do you?
Well, I hope they will, yeah.
They're not going to.
No, I realize they're probably not.
I got a news flash for you. These kids are tough. And
you're not going to stop me from hoping.
I might sometimes. I want you to report accurately, Dick. I don't want the hope to enter into the broadcast.
That's a good point.
Morehead State has got a lot of seniors on this team. They're hard-nosed, and they've been down this road before. They got a huge game coming up, as you talked about during the pregame. They play Murray State at home Thursday night, so I hope that one's televised. I'd like to see them play somebody else other than us and see what the pressure defense does to other teams.
Redbirds will inbound the ball here against the pressure. The lead down to 6 at 62 to 56. A long look by Lloyd Phillips gets it to Rubin, who gets it right back to Lloyd, and now it's Clark across the timeline and a foul on Fareed, and that's his fourth. He didn't have any in the first half, but now he's within a foul of exiting the game, and that would help the cause.
And really a silly foul on his part.
Yeah.
Half court, Justin Clark was a little bit out of control, and Fareed tried to go for the steal and got no ball, all body.
Justin Clark had been to the free throw line only 4 times all year coming into this game. He made a free throw earlier in the contest and now looks to fire up another one and gets it.
I'll tell you what, he is going to have some entertaining nights ahead in this young man's career.
9 points for him. Now 4 for 6 from the line on the season as he tries to expand the lead to 8. Shoots the free throw, no good, and the rebound for Reed. 7-point lead for the Redbirds. Morehead State comes the other way. Here's Shingles with it up on top. Birds have gone, is it a zone?
Yeah, 2-3.
As a bomb by Harper is good over the zone. He hits the 3. The lead is down to 4 at 63 to 59.
Well, this game very similar to the Indiana State game.
As the Birds, against full court pressure, look to get it in, and as they do, a timeout was called by the Redbirds. So they spend one of their remaining timeouts.
3 timeouts remain for the Redbirds, 1 for Morehead State.
1:54 left, and the lead is only 4. This 30-second timeout brought to you by Parkway Auto Laundry. Take a 10-minute timeout and have your vehicle cleaned at Parkway Auto Laundry.
Going to have to make some free throws. Both teams shoot free throws similar, 71% for Illinois State, 68% for Morehead State. So going to have to knock some down. Anytime you're in a 2, 3, 4-point game with less than 2 minutes to play, free throws are a major factor.
Birds have made 14 of 20 today. That's 70%, so that's right about at their season average. Morehead has only made 9 out of 18. So if they lose this game, they can look back at that as one of the reasons why.
And if Illinois State loses, 23 turnovers so far for Illinois State.
As the Birds are about to inbound it, Justin Clark will do that. Clark in there instead of Lewis. Otherwise, it's the starters as Justin gets it to Osiris Eldridge, who comes up the floor. Osiris in the front court. Now he circles out wisely and lost the ball, but it's saved by Osiris to Phillips, and now a whistle and a foul. Boy, they nearly had the steal as O lost control of it, but dove, avoided over and back, and still was able to tip it to Phillips. What an athletic play by O. And Lloyd gets himself to the line with 1:46 left, and the Birds up 4.
Well, what he did is he dribbled the ball off Harper's tennis shoe. So I don't know, would that have been over and back?
No. That's a good point. If it had gone over, as Lloyd makes the free throw. And that is Lloyd's first point of the game, and it's a big one. It elevates the lead to 5.
Usually when you dribble the ball off somebody's sneaker, it rarely comes back up to you. I've tried it before.
It wouldn't have been over and back as long as he didn't touch it before it went over the timeline. If it hit the sneaker and went over the line, as Lloyd's next free throw is good. He gets a couple of pressure-packed throws for his first 2 points of the game and builds the Redbird lead back to 6. That foul, by the way, on Mays Stallworth, his 4th. Morehead stayed in the front court. Here's Hill with it. Terrence Hill moves to the top. Rubin on him. Here's the pass to Stallworth. He moves inside the arc. Now back out. A 3 for Harper. No. Air ball rebounded by Justin Clark. 1:27 to go. And now Osiris gets it across the line. Is fouled by Terrence Hill. 1:19 left now, and the Birds up 6, and Osiris headed to the free throw line. Hill 3rd.
I'm kind of curious now what Osiris's injury was.
Yeah.
After that play on the sideline, he kind of looked down at his left wrist, and I don't know if the play maybe scared him more than anything else when he came down awkwardly and had to be escorted off the floor by the training staff. But
Birds in the double bonus. Osiris therefore shoots 2. The first one is a high-arching, successful free throw that is his 25th point of the game and gives the Redbirds a 7-point lead at 66-59.
Boy, 25 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and a great defensive job against Stallworth. Stallworth with only 8 points.
Another one for O is up and good. And at 67-59, Birds by 8. Shingles across the timeline for Morehead State as the Birds try to nail down their 5th win in a row and their 20th win of the season. Stallworth the 3, it's short. Rebounds Phillips, who had Stallworth on that possession, and he comes the other way and moves it into the front court with the Redbirds up by 8. A minute to go now. They're going to have to foul as Phillips behind the back with a dribble, shovels it to Rubin. Alex moves through traffic, and he's finally fouled by Shingles. It took a big hack at him and put him at the line with 50 seconds, 50 seconds left, and the Birds up 8. Shingles 3rd.
6 NBA scouts here today, Dick, to take a look at Kenneth Fareed and also a glimpse at Dima Odiakosa, but I think popping up on their radar probably more than either one of those guys is Osiris.
Well, as far as Osiris's basketball ambitions are concerned past Illinois State, that's helpful that all the scouts are here to see this performance by him as Rubin misses the free throw. Alex is 2 for 4 from the line so far in this game. Tries again for his 15th point of the game.
I'm going to have to get after Alex a little bit. He's a much better free throw shooter than 2 for 4.
Well, 80% coming into the game. He does get that one. And it's a 9-point Redbird lead, 68-59. Still 50 seconds left as Morehead State now can't waste any time. Shingles up on top. Moves it to Hill. His 3. That's good. He's made a couple of them here down the stretch. He cuts the lead back to 6. 42 seconds to go. Osiris gets it into Phillips, and Lloyd is fouled with 40 seconds left. So 10 seconds go by. Meanwhile, they've hit a 3, and they've cut the 9-point lead to 6, and now it's Lloyd's turn to cash in a couple of critical free throws. Terrence Hill had scored only 1 2-point basket in the entire game until he's hit these 2 threes here in the recent going. The only 2 points Lloyd has scored all day from the line just a little bit ago. Let's see if he can get 2 more as the senior bends the knees and shoots it good.
You know, it seems like, Dick, and there's probably been an exception or two, but the fewer points Lloyd scores, it seems like the better we play overall offensively.
Interesting point. Lloyd an 80% free thrower. I said Osiris was the best at 80. Lloyd actually right with him at 80. And he shows his free throw shooting skill by making both of those and elevating the lead to 8. 40 seconds left as Morehead State is across the timeline. Here's the pass to the wing. Another free for Hill. This one's not good, and Justin Clark has another rebound. 2 big ones for him down the stretch. Now he's double-teamed, and somebody reaches in and fouls him. Justin had a chance there to get rid of the ball and didn't, but does get fouled and will go to the line with now 29 seconds to go. We're chipping away here in 10-second increments at that clock.
Well, I think it was a good decision by Justin because he knew he was going to get fouled and didn't risk throwing maybe an errant pass. And good shooter, and like to see him back at the line.
That foul on Harper, his third, and yes, Clark is 2 for 3 from the line in this game, 4 for 7 for the season, but a better free thrower than that as he misses that one. Shouldn't have said that. So one more opportunity for Justin to build the lead back to 9 with 29 seconds left. Birds trying to nail down win number 20 of the year. And Clark gets that free throw for his 10th point of the game. His career high at Illinois State, 13 in the home game against Creighton.
Clark could use a little of the arch that Osiris and Tony Lewis have.
Here's Shingles passing it out. Harper a 3. That's no good. The rebound tipped out, and Rubin winds up with it. Over for Reed. How about that? Alex has had a great game, yeah. And across the timeline, the pass goes to Clark, and this will do it. They'll let the shot clock run down, the game clock run down. But wait a minute, first the timeout, and that's only to get players in the game. Tim Jankovic calls it, and off the bench come Terry Johnson, Matt Coates, and Blake Mishler here as they get to play the final 11 seconds of this bracket buster game. Kellen Thornton also back in for the Redbirds. So the Birds will inbound it, and all they'll do is dribble out the clock as Morehead State has stopped playing defense. They've conceded this one. The Birds are going to get their 20th win against 8 losses and their 5th win in a row as the horn sounds, and the final count is Illinois State 71, Morehead State 60.